Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. So today I want to continue my playlist that I'm making with you guys. I'm making an accordion junk journal, and I'll make sure to put it on the end screen, the playlist for you guys, so you can get caught up to where we're at. Today I want to add a couple of signatures in it, add a closure, and I want to put all this together. We're gonna sew or glue, I'm not sure yet, the fabric and the scrapbook paper together. Okay, so we'll get it all just constructed together and we'll go from there. All right, so let's get started here. So what we're gonna need to do first is, let's take this apart. Okay, so what we got here is all our fun things that we sewed on to our scrapbook paper here. Okay, and then we got our fabric side that we did some sewing and some gluing. So I showed you both options that you could do. Okay, so that's that side. So we're gonna mess with this part right now. And what I want to do is just take one of my signatures. It's just some scrap paper that I have. And I'm wanting to find one of the spots here, one of the folds that goes in. And I want to add a signature. So we're just going to take our poly wax thread is what it is. And I'll try to remember to put this in the links below. If not, remind me and I will. But this stuff works great to bind with, very sturdy. Okay, so what you do is just measure the 3 times the size of your little journal or little booklet that we're gonna put in, or signature. So 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more because I might have put a dangler on there. You never know. Okay, so we got that, and then we got our needle. Okay. Line it up in the groove here where we want it. And I'm just going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And if you want, you could take your little poker tool because this is kind of thick right here. So let's see, we'll do a hole there, a hole here, and a hole right there. And I'm just holding it in place with my fingers here. But you can clip it if you need to the journal. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, leave a little tail, excuse me, pop it up through the top here, like that. Go down through the bottom. So this is just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Pretty easy to do. And then just go back through the middle, just make sure you're not splitting your threads. Like I did there, you can see that I kind of went through it. So you don't want to split in between anything because it does make it a pain in the butt to pull it. Okay. So we're going to do that. And just make sure that the 2 bottom threads are underneath this middle one. And then you just want to pull it taut, not too tight. And then let's check it before we tie it and see if that's how we want it. Okay, so we'll just do that. Got my bone folder. Just kind of crease it. I think that looks really good. Okay. And just pull it taut. And I always double knot here. And this wax thread is really nice to use because it ain't going nowhere. And then I'm gonna leave this dangling just in case I'm gonna add something to it. Okay, so there's that. Fun little signature in there. Now, what I'm thinking is, wouldn't that be fun to do this? We just gotta find right where the fold's gonna be. I think the fold's right here because you can kind of see where you creased it. So I think that would be, I don't know if that's going to be too hard to see. Okay. And then we can see where it's going to fold. So there is a fold there. There's a fold here. I don't know where the best spot would be. I mean, maybe right here. I just don't want to get it attached to anything else. So maybe if we did it right here, but then that would hide the little bird. So I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't. But if you guys wanted to, this is what you should do. You know, it's just kind of, I mean, this is, you don't have to do it like this, but this is one way to do it, is just kind of put it back together and then look to see where the fold is at. Here would be okay, but I don't know if this would be in the way. I kind of almost want to do it just to see how it would turn out. What do you guys think? Should we try it? Okay, so we know a fold's right there. So you can even fold it and just crease it. Okay, you can see where it's folded. So let's just take this. So we're doing this all separate right now because then we can hide all the back part. Like, see the where we stitched it right here. So any of the stitching, like sewing and stuff like that, just do this before we connect all these together. Okay, well, let's see. You know what? Might as well try it, right? That's what I say. Oh, I was going to keep that together. Whoops. I got too excited. Keep my little pages together here. So let's just line it up in the fold. Maybe we'll do it. It's going to kind of hide the bird, but not really. When we open it, we'll be able to see the bird. So let's go up a little. That's what I'm thinking. And then we won't be too much in the way right here. So just find the middle, or the little crease, the fold. Let's pop this through. Just to secure it a little better. There we go. Done with that. Let's check it. Make sure it's where we want it. I think we did a pretty good job here on the fold part. So this could be kind of fun, huh? I love, I know I've said this before, but I love incorporating paper and fabric together. It's just really fun to me. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are enjoying this video, I'd love for you guys to hit the like button. It gets me out there a lot further for other people to figure out and show them how to do a little bit of fabric thrown in with some paper and make an accordion journal. It's just kind of fun. I really am enjoying doing this with you guys. And yeah, comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. And, you know, if you guys enjoy working with fabric too and some papers together, it's just super fun. I don't know if I did 2, but there we go. I think I did 3. That's all right. That's okay. Okay. Now we just kind of crease it a little. Make sure it's where we want it. So this, I just did some avocado lined paper, some scrapbook paper on the outside, some fun puzzle papers, some tissue paper that I stamped on, just some scraps I had. So these are just fun ways to use up your scraps, is to make these little booklets. Okay, there we go. All right. And I will wind up inking all that. I should have done it before I put it in, but I got too excited. Okay. I'm thinking I'm going to wind up sewing around this. I glued it, but it's just not wanting to stay. So I think I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and just do a little sewing to make it a little pocket. So I think I'll do that real quick. All right. So I like the way that turned out. And I just went ahead and just did a zigzag stitch along here and then down here and a little bit on the side here. You can probably see it better like that. So yeah, so I just went ahead and did that. All right, so now's your chance to maybe clip any long threads that you have. So I got my whole little rat's nest here of threads and, you know, little pieces of fabrics and just some, you know, just little scraps, stuff like that, little fabric scraps and threads. They do make great clusters. Put this one, so make sure it's right side up. Put this one down. And this one like this. Maybe that'll work. I think that helps with the fold like that. There we go. So let's do it that way. That seems to work better. Okay, and we're just gonna accordion fold it. I just want to double check it all. Make sure this is how we want it. Okay. So that's what we got here. I think this is how we want it. Okay, so we're just gonna. Now I want to show you guys. Let's do this. Yeah, I want to put my closure. So these are just some coffee dyed, just some cotton fabric that I coffee dyed. Excuse me, and put into strips. And now I'm going to take my Fabric Fix glue, and I want to go in between the fabric and the scrapbook paper here. So I was making sure it looked like it was upside down. So make sure everything's right side up before you start doing this. I have done that before. So it's like, now I double, triple check. Okay, so everything's the way you want it. And we're just going to take this in here. We're just going to do a glue down here. And just be careful because this Fabric Fix glue will seep through. And I don't want to glue it to, you know, this part in there. So we just have to be careful here. So we'll go like this. This is not going nowhere. Oh, I got my glue too far. This is when a paper towel comes in handy. That's okay, that'll be hidden eventually. So, there we go. And the inside right here will be hidden because we'll be putting the inside cover on it too. Okay, so we're gonna just take it and glue that down really good. All right, because this is gonna be the front because I want it to open like that. I was thinking I wanted this the front, but I don't want it to open with the fold, okay? So I'm gonna make this the front cover. Oh, like this, there we go. And then it'll open like that. Okay, I don't wanna glue that together. So I'm gonna leave that flap open for now. And then this side, we're gonna, okay, right here. We're gonna glue right there. Okay, I gotta line it up, so let's go like this. Get the other little strip. And I did these, what did I do with them? 12 inches, roughly? 12.5 inches long. And just like a 1/2 inch wide, maybe a little bit over. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the same concept here. Okay, there. I don't want it to seep too much there. Okay, so pretty good so far here. Don't attach those. Just keep opening it up. There, it doesn't matter what that looks like, so that's fine. I just don't want it over on this side of the, okay, whew, there we go. Now, what we're gonna do is, I got my big clips here. And I'm wanting to let's see. I'm trying to think what would be the easiest way. But we could do these big clips. I just don't know if these would be long enough to get it where I want it. Oh, maybe. So I'm just trying to clip it to the paper and the fabric and just line it up where I want it. And if you guys do not want to sew, you could always just take your glue and glue it down on, I would suggest the smaller piece, which is my paper, the scrap paper, and just glue it on the inside all the way and then just lay the fabric over the top. But be careful, because see how it oozes through? Like if you're using the Fabrifix glue or something, it oozes through the fabric, especially if your fabric's thin. So that's why I am personally just going to sew around to attach everything. You would just have to spread it with either your finger or a paintbrush, but then a paintbrush would get really caked on there. It'd be hard to clean that off, in my opinion. But yeah, I would definitely, if you're going to use glue, just smear it before, so you don't have big puddles. It'll just seep right through and you'll be able to see it. So these are working. I'm just attaching it so it doesn't move on me. Okay. And then like parts like this, I might have to just lift up my foot of my sewing machine and just go to here, lift my foot up, and then just start here again and then work my way around. You know, stuff like that. And then you can always just add a dab of glue underneath it, you know, to keep the cover on. So there's little tricks that you can do. Okay, and I'll take you guys over to the sewing machine and show you how I will do this. It'll be an adventure. Okay, but I think it's going to turn out really cool. Now this one, I'm going to go like this because it doesn't need to be hanging and get sewn up accidentally. So I'm going to do that. We're pretty pinned down here. I just don't want it moving. Okay. So I would think the best way to go about it is to turn it, because you're going to want to do it on the smaller side so we know that we're catching everything. And then when you're doing this, just make sure that your straps here, your closures, are out of the way. So, you know, make sure they're over to the side, you know, over like that. So like when you're sewing, you're going to sew across it this way. Don't have it like bunched up like that and then sew across it. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'll go to my machine and, you know, we'll just start maybe at the bottom here, do a back stitch, and then just work our way around and follow the paper and do that. I think that'll be our best option. And I'm just going to do it in black. I think that'll look nice. Okay, so I'll meet you guys over there. Okay, so I'll show you guys. I'm just noticing here, like how that's hanging over the side like that. I'm gonna have it flipped over so I won't really notice it, so I don't want to sew across it. So I'm flipping it up to get it out of the sewing way here. And then I'm just taking a needle and pinning it where I want it to stay for now. There we go. So then that won't fall over. And then I did that here. I just popped this up and then clipped it so it's not going to be in the way, but I wonder, it'd probably be better to pin it because then it won't be so bulky. So you can just kind of look like this. There we go. Now I have it on a zigzag stitch. I don't think I want that. I think I'm gonna go to just a straight stitch. Okay, and we're just gonna start here, and we're just gonna make sure to catch the scrap paper and the fabric. And then do a back stitch. And then we're just gonna work our way around. Part that I pinned, so you might have to go a little bit, and then if it's bulky you can lift up your foot. There we go, and just kind of work it in there. There we go. Now I'm coming up onto that cluster that I said I was gonna skip over it. So I'm just gonna do a little back stitch here. Okay, and we're just gonna lift our foot and just go ahead and just leave the thread attached, which is fine. We'll cut it later. And then we're gonna go to the other side of it. And I'll show you guys when we go back to the table. And make sure that like your danglers, anything like this, is out of the way. You don't want to sew those down. Okay. And we're just going to work our way around. Now I can see that my pocket is right here. So if I sew it, it'll cut that pocket off on the other side. So I'm just gonna do a back stitch right here. So anything you don't want to interfere with on the other side, just do a back stitch and then just bring it past whatever you don't want to, you know, sew down on the other side, and then we'll figure that out. On the other side of it here, and then I'm gonna do a back stitch. Okay. I'm just gonna turn it. Make sure your closer's over to the side. I'm just going slow and steady here. There's no reason to go fast. And then see how my fabric was folded? So just make sure your fabric is straight and not folded under, because it'll get sewn down. Okay. We're just working our way around. Where it's supposed to be. I'm gonna bring this just out like that, and then I'm gonna go under it so it won't matter. There we go. Yeah, so any flip ups or anything like that, just make sure to bring them up and then just sew under where it flips up. And then it shouldn't interfere with anything. signature here. I'll go back a little bit. And then I'm gonna have to lift up my foot, and I already sewed into it a little bit. Let me get my stitch right here. You know, I could take you guys to the table. You know, here. You know what? I'm gonna show you guys. So this is good to show. So say you do go into somewhere that you don't want to be. Like I sewed into the book accidentally. So I got my stitch ripper. Just a little needle like that. And what you're going to want to do is just kind of pop it in there. And it's a quick and easy fix. And that's okay. I mean, I don't mind that it has the holes right there. Okay. And since I already backstitched right there, it should be fine. But if you're worried about that, you can even take some, what is that called? Art glitter glue. Okay, I'll make sure I'm in the camera here. And we can glue that too. Here, I'll show you. Like this works great. If you just take art glitter glue, and this is on anything that you're sewing and it looks like it's coming unraveled, just kind of pop a little bit of glue down. And this dries clear, so it's great. So just work it in there and then just pop it down right here. Super easy fix. And then it's not gonna go anywhere. I mean, or you could backstitch again if you wanted to, but I just wanted to show you guys that little tip and trick there. Okay. There we go. So that's something, you know, if you go, it's not the end of the world. If you sew over something, you can just stitch rip it. Okay. So now, so what I was gonna do is sew it to here, backstitch, take my needle out, flip the journal, or the little booklet over, go back under, okay, because since it is taller, it was sticking out. So I'm gonna go back underneath, under the needle again, make sure I'm not hitting the journal, and I'm going on to the other side of it here. So like that, there we go. And then we're gonna want to backstitch, okay, and continue. So I'm glad that happened because I can show you guys that you could just stitch rip it or undo it like that. There's always a fix. I'm just trying not to hit my threads here. They're sticking out. All right, now we're back at the front of the journal. Okay. I'll just flip it around. Make sure your closure is that way. Make sure everything's where you want it. All the fabric and paper. And we're just gonna do our straight stitch here to the end. And then just do, oops, a back stitch. And there we go. It looks like it needs it right there for some reason. There we go. I just double secure. Okay. And you just take it and cut the thread. And there we go. Give yourself a fun journal. A little accordion journal. Okay, I'll take you guys to the table and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so I'm super excited. Let's see how this turned out. So we sewed it all the way around there. And we sewed this side over here. We can unclip that. And you can see that it's just all sewn together. Oh, good. I was making sure I didn't get to that. So that's it. Oh, and this is what I was talking about right here too. Is, see the flip? I just made sure to go underneath it because you don't want to go over the top of it unless you want your flip a little lower. But I just went ahead, just flipped it up and made sure I went under it. So we still got a little fabric flip. And let's see. So we do have some open spots here like that. And all we can do, and the thing about it is, this is thicker so it won't show through, but you want to make sure when you do a little glue right here, it's not going to seep through and close your pocket. So you could just take, your fabric fix glue and just kind of rub your finger on it and just do a little stick down like that. But see how we skipped over and have the thread like that? All you got to do is just snip it. And since we back stitched on each end, we're good. So it won't come unraveled. Okay, so we got that one, and then the same here. I went over the cluster. This is the cluster I was talking about. So there's the thread on that, and you're just gonna wanna just do a little snip there. Okay, so that was that, and you can see it's just a little opening right there. Okay, and then this is this side. I mean, how fun is this, you guys? That turned out really cool. Make sure you can see it. So that's how I attached it, and I think that turned out really fun. So let's go ahead. I think I'm going to use some Fabrifix. I'm going to chance it here because I want it to stay. I don't want it to come undone. Okay, so let's just go ahead. And what I like to do, if you guys can see this, is take my Fabrifix, right? And you can do this too, which seems to work for me. So go ahead and just go to the edge here, and you put some down, and then you just take your tip and just kind of rub it. And then you don't get it on your hand, and just kind of rub it around like that. And just you don't have to do a massive amount. So that's what I like to do. So there. So now I got it down, and I just kind of smeared it, and I made it just lightly, so it's not going to seep through and close my pocket. So just do that. If you're worried about it, you could stick a pencil or, a paintbrush or just something in there to make it so it's not going to just lay flat if you're worried about it, and let it dry. But I think we're okay because I just did just a tiny amount, okay? And now we could do the same thing over here under our cluster. So I'm just squirting a tiny bit and then just rubbing the nozzle, just, smeared out, like spread it around. Okay, and then you can always look at it later and see if it's not enough and add a little more, but I think this stuff's pretty powerful. It's pretty strong. Okay, so there we go. So I just did a little gluing, and then we got the other part right here and the other part over here. So you can leave those hanging if you want. There we go. Okay, so I think we got everything glued that we wanted. Oh, and then this can come undone like that. Just bend it back into shape. Okay, so now here is the real test. Let's get it folded up and see how we did. Everything staying where we want it. Oh yeah, I mean, this is so cool. Okay, you can adjust things. Cool thing is it being scrap paper back behind it, you can just fold it and just kind of crease it where you want it. I'm really enjoying this. This is so much fun. And I hope you guys did enjoy this video and found it informational. And then see, we can just do a little bow here. And we will be doing more on this because I want to do a fun cover. And so it kind of opens on that side, but I just thought it was kind of fun just to do a little closure. I mean, if you wanted to make it longer, you could. And then just go like this with it. I mean, that would work too. You could do just a little knot. So that's one way to close it too. Then the other side won't, pop open or anything. So that's an idea. So however you want to do it, works. But I just wanted something just to kind of, tie it together so it's not popping open or nothing. Okay, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video and found it informational. And if you could please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys can see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. And keep on crafting.